There are many places on the planet that make us feel in paradise. But there is an island where the beauty of its corners and the extraordinary of its culture and its people is so authentic that it makes tourists find themselves enveloped in charms and temptations that are hard to resist. In this new video of Uncensored World, we will know in more detail Zanzibar, one of the most enigmatic yet beautiful islands on Earth. Zanzibar, one of the most beautiful African islands, was in the past a strategic point for the slave trade, being today an extraordinary place where the Rastafarian culture is mixed with Islam, where the Maasai, the most famous and powerful warrior tribe in Africa, have become the new beach boys, and where a man can have up to 4 wives, as long as he can treat them fairly. A corner with unique curiosities such as containing a capital in the form of a labyrinth, with narrow streets in which it is very easy to get lost, former slave prisons, or markets where women are the ones who have the power. An archipelago with a high percentage of single women, many of whom are attracted by Latin and Western tourists. An island full of paradisiacal beaches, which has become the new kitesurfing paradise and the most coveted honeymoon destination in the world. Discover with us the island where Freddie Mercury was born and where one of the most extraordinary primate species of the planet lives, isolated for thousands of years inside the thick forests of this earthly paradise. Pay attention and do not miss this video, because we assure you that discovering Zanzibar with us will surprise you. Let's get started. Zanzibar, a semi-autonomous archipelago located in the Indian Ocean, is known to be one of the most captivating destinations in the world. A place where history, culture, and nature intertwine in a unique way, as you will discover on this trip. Located about 35 kilometers off the east coast of Africa, north of Madagascar, this tropical island belonging to Tanzania is famous for its white sand beaches, turquoise waters, and rich marine biodiversity, making it a paradise for lovers of sun, sea, and water sports. The archipelago is composed of 2 main islands, Unguja, known as Zanzibar, and Pemba, in addition to several smaller islands. With an estimated population of around 1.4 million inhabitants, Zanzibar's population density is around 500 people per square kilometer, comparable to countries such as Jamaica or Sri Lanka, countries that also share a mix of paradisiacal landscapes and vibrant cultures. Zanzibar's climate is one of its greatest attractions. Due to its proximity to the equator, the island enjoys warm temperatures throughout the year, with average highs between 27 and 32 degrees Celsius. This constancy makes Zanzibar a perfect destination for sun and beach lovers. Geographically, Zanzibar has a strategic location that has influenced its history and culture. For centuries, the archipelago was an important trading center on the Indian Ocean routes, attracting Arabs, Persians, Indians, and Europeans. This past is reflected not only in its architecture and cuisine, but also in its official language, Swahili. Although Swahili is a Bantu language, it is deeply influenced by Arabic due to the long Omani presence in the region. British colonial rule, which began in the 19th century, also left its mark, and English remains a widely spoken secondary language, especially in tourism-related sectors, which makes it much easier for foreign tourists. The predominant religion in Zanzibar is Islam, with 99% of the population being Muslim. This is due to the historical influence of Arab and Persian traders who arrived in the archipelago more than a millennium ago and established their roots in this region. This Muslim majority defines much of daily life on the island, a reality that can be seen both in the calls to prayer echoing from the minarets and in the many festivities and traditions that reflect a deeply rooted faith. With this in mind, one of the most striking curiosities of Zanzibar is how, in some tourist areas, small communities associated with the Rastafarian culture, a current originating in Jamaica, emerge. Although not part of the island's traditional identity, these influences have arrived thanks to tourism and global connections, creating a diverse and multicultural social environment. In these areas, the reggae music, bright colors, and relaxed spirit of the Rastafarian culture add an interesting nuance to the atmosphere, contrasting markedly with the predominant Islamic religiosity of Zanzibar. This contrast does not so much reflect an everyday coexistence between the two cultures, but rather the way in which tourism introduces new cultural expressions that enrich the experience of those visiting the island. The Rastafari presence in these tourist spaces becomes an opportunity to understand the diversity and globalization that are also part of Zanzibar, adding an unexpected dimension to its cultural appeal. This mix and diversity reflects the openness of some sectors of the population to globalization and external influences. This phenomenon is also a reflection of how tourism not only transforms the economy of a place, but also has an impact on its cultural identity. As we travel through Zanzibar, you will discover how these seemingly opposing realities coexist in this paradise, creating a unique environment that enriches its appeal as a tourist destination. But beyond these curiosities, Zanzibar holds a fascinating history that reflects its cultural complexity and its crucial role in the past. For centuries, this archipelago was a strategic point for international trade, including the infamous slave trade. Stone Town, its historic capital, is home to sites such as the Slave Chamber, which serves as a poignant reminder of this dark chapter in its history. In its labyrinthine alleys and carved doorways, the influences of Arabs, Persians, Indians, and Europeans echo, each leaving their mark on the island's identity. Zanzibar has also had a unique and extraordinary political past. Before joining Tanganyika in the 1960s to form Tanzania, Zanzibar was a sultanate under British control and enjoyed a brief period of independence in the same year. Today, it retains its semi-autonomous government with its own president and legislature, as well as its own flag, which flies alongside the Tanzanian flag as a symbol of its distinct identity. Zanzibar's culture is equally diverse and vibrant. Although Swahili is the official language shared with Tanzania, the island's cultural heritage combines African, Arabic, Indian, and European influences, creating a unique blend that is reflected in its music, as well as its cuisine and architecture. Its festivals and local traditions, such as the Mwaka Kogwa, celebrate this cultural richness and attract visitors and locals alike. The Mwaka Kogwa, celebrated mainly in Makunduchi, south of Unguja Island, marks the beginning of the new year according to the Persian Shirazi calendar. This festival combines symbolism, rituals, and a festive atmosphere that attracts both locals and tourists. The central tradition of the festival includes a kind of symbolic fight, in which men fight each other with banana sticks, while women sing traditional songs to bring harmony and prosperity. These battles, although they appear violent, are completely ritualistic and seek to cause no harm. Their purpose is to release tensions accumulated during the previous year, ensuring that conflicts are not carried over into the new cycle. Another highlight of the Mwaka Kogwa is the burning of a symbolic hut, an act that represents purification and the elimination of past evils. According to local beliefs, the smoke from this burning is interpreted as an omen of the year to come. In addition, the festival includes dances, banquets, and a remarkable social interaction that strengthens community ties. Controversially, in Zanzibar, a Muslim-majority island with laws based on religious and social traditions, polygamy is allowed. According to Islam, a man can marry up to 4 women as long as he is able to treat them fairly and equally, both emotionally and financially. This is why on the island, this practice is still common among the more conservative communities. Thinking about tradition and controversy, one of the most striking realities for any tourist visiting this paradise has to do with the Maasai, nicknamed by many as the Beach Boys of Zanzibar. The Maasai are known as one of the most famous warrior tribes in Africa. Originally nomads from the interior of Tanzania and Kenya, this tribe has maintained many of its traditional practices, including polygamy, which they practice according to the economic capacity of the man to keep his wives, usually obtained through a dowry system in the form of cattle. That is, the more cows they can buy, the more women they can have, since the dowry depends on it. In addition to being skilled hunters, the Maasai build their villages in circles to protect themselves from lions, showing their strong connection to nature and their ability to survive. But in Zanzibar, unlike life in Tanzania and Kenya, the Maasai have a more contemporary and visible role on the beaches, gradually putting aside their warrior past. Recognizable by their vibrantly colored clothing and imposing physical features, the Masai of Zanzibar often work as handicraft traders and tour guides, frequently interacting with visitors. This contact has given rise to unique social dynamics, and in some cases there is talk of an intimate interest between Masai men and some foreign women. Something that, although not widely recognized, is part of the complex cultural and social relationships on this island. This phenomenon reflects how cross-cultural interaction, coupled with necessity, can generate unexpected bonds in such an idyllic tourist environment. This type of more intimate tourism also occurs in tourist areas where some local women feel a special interest in foreign tourists. Often this attraction is due to the novelty and the prospects of a different life, and sometimes they seek to establish relationships with them, especially during the lively nights of the island, where local traditions are mixed with the festive atmosphere brought by visitors. These relationships are not always well regarded by the deeply traditional and Muslim Zanzibari society, but in spite of this, and often due to the beauty that foreign tourists discover not only in the women of Zanzibar, but also on the island, intercultural marriages have arisen, which, although unusual, reflect the openness of some sectors of the population to new experiences and ways of life. At this point, we would like to ask you, would you like to meet the women or men of Zanzibar? What do you think about the reality of the Maasai on this island? Or what has impressed you most about this paradise? Pause the video and leave us your comment. You know that doing so is the best way to support us to keep working every week and bring you interesting content like this, so thank you. And don't forget to subscribe to Uncensored World if you are not already subscribed to enjoy the world with us. In addition to the curiosities and realities you have learned, it is important to understand that for years, Zanzibar has become one of the favorite honeymoon destinations, attracting couples from all over the world thanks to its paradisiacal beaches, rich history and infrastructure designed for tourism. Romantic activities include sunset dhow rides, as the local boats are known, snorkeling on coral reefs and visits to private islands such as Memba. Places like Nungwi and Kendwa offer the best beaches, famous for their turquoise waters and postcard-perfect white sand. In addition to its beaches, the capital Stone Town, with its mix of cultures and historic architecture, provides a magical setting for honeymooners and any tourist wishing to discover the many wonders this island has to offer. Stone Town, the historic heart of Zanzibar, is a city that captivates any visitor with its maze of narrow, winding alleyways, dotted with vibrant markets, ancient houses, and carved doorways that tell stories of ages past. This enclave is a unique fusion of Arab, Indian, Persian, and European influences, reflecting its history as an important port on the Indian Ocean trade routes. Its limestone coral buildings, with carved wooden balconies and terraces, offer a window into the past, while its markets filled with spices and local produce reveal the vitality of the present. In these vibrant spice markets, the aromas of cinnamon, cloves, and vanilla fill the air, recalling Zanzibar's heyday as the epicenter of the world's spice trade that earned it the nickname, the Spice Island. Besides the markets, exploring Stone Town is the closest thing to getting lost in time, with every nook and cranny offering a surprise, whether it's an ancient mosque, a Hindu temple, or a house with fascinating stories. In Stone Town and other parts of Zanzibar, the presence of women entrepreneurs stands out as a vibrant and transformative aspect of the local economy. Despite living in a traditional, largely Muslim society, many women have found in commerce and small business a way to actively participate in the development of their communities. These entrepreneurs run stalls selling spices, textiles, jewelry, and handicrafts, products that reflect the island's cultural and natural wealth. Some also specialize in the preparation and sale of typical food, such as samosas, fresh seafood, and local sweets, bringing the essence of Zanzibar to tourists and residents. In addition to being an economic engine, these activities help preserve and transmit Zanzibar's cultural identity. Many of the women who work selling spices or weavings also tell stories about their products, connecting visitors to the island's ancestral traditions. In Stone Town, it is common to find women working in sewing workshops or making products by hand, blending modern techniques with Swahili, Arabic, and Indian cultural influences. Their work not only contributes to local commerce, but also challenges stereotypes, showing how determination and creativity can transform lives and communities. Another of Stone Town's most striking aspects is its connection to the history of the slave and spice trade. At the slave market, now transformed into a memorial site, you can visit the subway chambers where slaves were held before being sold. This reality has a lot to do with one of the most mysterious and curious places around, the so-called Prison Island. Prison Island, also known as Prison Island or Canggu, is a place full of contrasts that combines a dark history with a serene beauty. In the late 19th century, this small island off the coast of Stone Town was conceived as a place of confinement for rebellious slaves before their sale in the markets of Zanzibar, in the same way they did in the subway chambers of the capital Stone Town. Later, during the colonial era, the island was reused as a quarantine to contain infectious diseases, such as yellow fever, among travelers and traders arriving on the shores of the archipelago. Although it never fully served its purpose as a prison, its history is steeped in echoes of suffering and isolation, which contrast with its current use. Today, Prison Island is famous for being home to a population of giant Aldabra tortoises, a species native to the Seychelles. This sanctuary, established in the 20th century, was created when a group of these tortoises was gifted to Zanzibar as a gesture of friendship. Over time, these impressive creatures, some of which are over 100 years old, have become an iconic symbol of the island. On the Prison Island, visitors can get up close to these tortoises, learn about their conservation, and enjoy the tranquility of their environment. Thinking about animals, if there is a curious and unique animal in Zanzibar, it would be the red colobus monkey. This primate is mainly found inside one of the greatest natural treasures of Zanzibar, known as the Jozani Forest, a magical and essential place for any traveler wishing to discover this archipelago. This forest, the last important fragment of rainforest on the island, is home to the Zanzibar red colobus monkey, a primate with reddish fur and expressive face, known locally as Kima Punju, which has evolved in isolation for thousands of years to become one of the most extraordinary species on the planet. One of its most striking features is its specialized digestive system, which allows it to consume a diet that most primates could not tolerate. Thanks to its multi-chambered stomach, similar to that of a ruminant, the red colobus can digest hard leaves and foods with high tannin content. In addition, it cannot process simple sugars, forcing it to feed on tender leaves, unripe fruits, and seeds, avoiding any food that would be toxic to its metabolism. This dietary trait reflects its adaptation to a resource-limited island environment. The red colobus is also noted for its sociability. They live in groups of up to 30 individuals, led by a dominant male, and have a very cooperative behavior. Their interactions include mutual grooming and shared breeding, which reinforces social bonds within the troop. Also, unlike other monkeys, they show no fear of humans, allowing visitors to the Jozani Forest to observe them up close in their natural habitat. The forest's trails, surrounded by aerial roots and dense tree canopies, offer an immersive experience in an ecosystem that seems to be taken from another planet, making Jozani not only a haven for the red colobus, but also for other unique species of flora and fauna, one of Zanzibar's main natural treasures. When it comes to transportation, Zanzibar has an equally unique personality. The dala-dala, vibrantly decorated trucks or minibuses, are the main public transport and offer an authentic and chaotic experience to those who dare to use them. Although they are an essential part of the local culture, In recent years, they have been overshadowed by the growing popularity of kitesurfing. Thanks to its warm waters and steady winds, Zanzibar is establishing itself as one of the most important kitesurfing destinations in the region. Among the main spots, the beaches of Paje and Jambiani are the epicenter of this activity, attracting kitesurfing enthusiasts from all over the world and turning the island into a mecca for lovers of this famous sport. Going into the detail of its paradisiacal beaches, Kendwa Beach is one of the most iconic of Zanzibar, the best example of the natural beauty and serenity that can be found in this paradise. Located on the north coast of the island, this beach is famous for its white sand and crystal-clear turquoise waters, ideal for swimming, snorkeling, or just relaxing in the sun. Unlike other beaches in Zanzibar, Kendwa does not experience large tidal variations, ensuring that its waters are always accessible for water activities. However, what really makes it stand out are its famous full moon parties. These celebrations attract both locals and tourists, creating a unique blend of cultures in an atmosphere of music, dance, and joy. The festivities, illuminated by torches and the silvery glow of the moon, are an unforgettable experience that reflects the vibrant and hospitable energy of the island. Another gastronomic attraction of this island is the famous Zanzibar pizza, a culinary creation that combines the best of the local and the global. Although its name suggests a link to Italy, Zanzibar pizza is actually a delicious mix of ingredients wrapped in a thin dough that is fried rather than baked. The toppings can include meat, seafood, cheese, egg, vegetables, and a surprising blend of spices that gives it a unique flavor. Visitors can also opt for sweet versions with banana, chocolate, and condensed milk, ideal for closing a night with an indulgent touch. The perfect place to enjoy this specialty, as well as other local delicacies, is the Forodani Gardens, an oceanfront night market in Stone Town that transforms at sunset into a bustling culinary space filled with irresistible aromas and flavors. Stalls offer a wide variety of dishes, from fresh seafood skewers and crispy samosas to freshly prepared sugarcane juices. Beyond the food, Forodani Gardens offers a cultural experience. Visitors can watch vendors skillfully prepare their dishes, listen to Swahili conversations mixed with the languages of tourists, and enjoy the lively atmosphere as the sea breeze cools the night. This night market not only satisfies the palate, but also connects visitors to the essence of Zanzibar, an island where the traditional and the modern coexist in harmony. To speak of Zanzibar is inevitably to mention one of its most illustrious sons, Freddie Mercury. Born Farrokh Bulsara in September 1946 in Stone Town, the legendary lead singer of Queen lived his early years on this island before his family moved to the United Kingdom. This corner of the world, with its mix of cultures and rich history, was the first home of the artist who would later dazzle the world with his charisma and unparalleled voice. Although his time in Zanzibar was brief, the island's multicultural spirit seems to have left a mark on Mercury's creativity, who always challenged the norms and explored new forms of artistic expression. Today, Freddie Mercury's legacy lives on in Stone Town. His birthplace, located in a quiet alleyway in this labyrinthine town, has been transformed into the Freddie Mercury Museum, a space dedicated to celebrating his life and career. Inside, visitors can explore photographs, personal items, and stories that offer an intimate glimpse of the boy who became a global legend. The link between Zanzibar and Freddie Mercury not only enriches the island's cultural identity, but also adds a unique dimension to its tourist appeal. For those who walk the streets of Stone Town, knowing that this place was the scene of the first steps of one of the most influential artists of contemporary music, turns every corner into a testimony of the talent that springs from the most unexpected roots. This small museum, discreet but powerful, is an essential stop for those seeking to understand not only Mercury's life, but also the influence that a place as diverse and for many as remote and unknown as Zanzibar could have had on the world. At this point, you may have considered Zanzibar as your next dream destination. If so, from Uncensored World, we want to make your trip easier, helping you to know everything you need to know. to plan your adventure to this magical island in the Indian Ocean. To get to Zanzibar, most international travelers land at Abeid Amani Karume International Airport, located on the main island, Unguja. This airport has direct flights or connections from major cities such as Dubai, Istanbul, Nairobi, Doha, or Amsterdam. Another popular option is to fly first to Dar es Salaam in mainland Tanzania and take a short flight of less than half an hour or a ferry to the island. In terms of cost of living, Zanzibar is a budget-friendly destination. Although known for its luxurious beach resorts, it also offers more affordable options for backpackers and independent travelers. Mid-range accommodations range in price from $40 to $80 per night, depending on location and amenities, while luxury resorts can easily exceed $200 per night. For those looking for more economical alternatives, there are hostels and guest houses with prices starting at $15 or $20 per night, ideal for a backpacker-style trip. In terms of food, Zanzibar's gastronomic offer is varied and delicious, from local markets such as Forodhani Gardens or the many in its capital city of Stone Town, to high-end restaurants. Dinner for two in a mid-range restaurant can cost between $20 and $40, while eating at stalls in the Forodhani Gardens or local markets can be a tasty and inexpensive experience, with prices hovering around $5 per plate. In addition, local coffee and fresh fruit juices are a must and are surprisingly low-priced, often for less than $1 or $2. The quality of life in Zanzibar is simple but charming, and its tourist infrastructure is constantly developing. Although some services such as public transport are basic, this is part of the island's charm. The Dala Dala, vibrantly decorated local minibuses, are an inexpensive and authentic experience for getting around the island, although those looking for more comfort can opt for private cabs or motorcycle rentals. Safety on Zanzibar is generally good, and the island is known for its laid-back atmosphere, making it an ideal destination for solo adventurers and couples alike. Whether you opt for a luxury beachfront resort experience or a more economical and authentic trip, Zanzibar has something for everyone. From white sand beaches and crystal-clear waters to the rich culture of Stone Town and the warmth of its people, this island is an accessible paradise for those looking for a unique and varied experience. With a little planning, you can enjoy Zanzibar regardless of your budget and return with unforgettable memories of one of the most magical corners of the planet. So, if you are thinking of visiting this beautiful paradise, you don't have to worry too much about safety, as it is one of the safest destinations in Africa. All in all, Zanzibar awaits you with open arms to offer you an unforgettable and worry-free experience. From Uncensored World, we hope this video has helped you to discover and enjoy Zanzibar, one of the most fascinating and unknown jewels of the planet. If so, don't hesitate to leave us a nice like and a comment. It's the best way to help us keep working to bring you interesting content like this every week. Videos like this one that you can see below, to enjoy the beauty and curiosities of one of the most fascinating places on the planet. Click on it, you will enjoy it.